Well, you all know it's not very often I get to lift the camp, and because I normally walk quite a long way, so this week I've took full advantage of it, and yeah, I'll talk you through how I've took full advantage of it when I get to camp. It's almost laughable and a little bit lazy. So it took me literally 5 minutes to get to camp from the car. I'm going to head back now to where I got dropped off and pick up my lazy stuff. Don't judge me. I'll show you when it comes. It's like, basically it's because I'm here so late at night. I thought, well, you know, everything's built. It's just basically a chill out camp. So tonight I thought, why not enjoy a good fire without the hassle of collecting wood? So bought a net of logs, bought a net of coal to put on the fire when I go to bed, but I'll show you that when it comes. I'm going to go and pick it up now. So yeah, there's no point in lying or misleading you. Tonight, for the very, very first time ever in my camping history, I've bought some logs. So we were going by the 24-hour petrol station. I thought, wouldn't it be good if I didn't have to collect any firewood tonight? So I got the kindling, 2 bags of logs and a bag of coal. Once I get the kindling going, I'm going to dump these 2 full bags of logs on there and then cook on it. And then before I go to bed, I'm going to put that coal on, that whole bag, just dump that bad boy on that fire pit right there. So hopefully I'll have a fire in the morning without collecting any wood. And then I just got here and realised that Gary's actually, last time he was here with his son, Gary Jr., he's collected a load of logs. So I might just leave them for Gary and Gary Jr. to use. Might just stock them in a drier place actually, because a lot of these shelters have took wind damage, and I mean that one's still dry at the back, but the front's, because the door's so wide, it's front's wet. This one here, the tarp, I must have hit by the wind or something, because it's manipulated the tarp that lines the shelter, and it's collected water, so that I'll have to sort tomorrow. So I can't sleep in any of them 2 TPs because they're both absolutely sodden. Which leaves my lean-to, which is dry, and then my seat lean-to, which is dry. So I might just hoy a tarp up in here and then work on one of these shelters tomorrow and get it usable again. I mean, it's dry at the back. I think it's just the front that's caught the wetness. The table's in there and that. So I've been splitting some of these logs to make them a little bit smaller, because they're extremely damp. And some of them still have bark on, and it's pine, which I don't like cooking on pine. Yeah, what a good buy. Kind of like lit all the kindling in the middle, just took ages. Everything, I mean, even the ground that I'm standing on. You can see it's quite sodden up here. It's good though. I'm going to just leave that alone and start getting up my tarp inside that lean-to. Got it here, down here started. I'm using my larger tarp for the ground sheet just because it doesn't fit in here. I'm using the 3.5. That doesn't fit in here either, but I've managed to shorten it off at one side there. It's all good. The roll mat, I think I've wrapped it too tight with bungee cords also, but it's all good. It's all good. Also the bed. That's Gary's. It's got bird poo on it. It's all good. And it's been munched a little bit there. That's all good. It's my British Army Arctic sleeping bag on top of the roll mat. I'm going to put that inside the bivy bag, and that should be sweet. I've lapped my fire out crisscross now, just with Gary and Gary Jr.'s logs. I'm sorry. Just couldn't resist it. It's like really good logs. Fire's well established now. Also, my bed is all Gore-Tex bivvy bagged up. Just a pair of gloves I've got there. Still sorting out the rest of my stuff. I know it's random, but I had a wacky idea about this teepee, that the you know, the walls and the cladding that I put in and all that. I'm seriously considering just ripping down the whole teepee around it, leaving the square walls standing, and then putting just a roof on top of them, but obviously an airframe roof. That's my idea. Because it doesn't need to be as big as it is. Because there's like a good, you know, metre all the way around on the other side of these walls. So yeah, I think I might go smaller than this. Some wacky ideas rolling around in my head. Now I've got the Zebra can on for hot, well, got some hot water in the Zebra can for a coffee while I mull over this random total rebuild. Seems like just, because I mean that side is quite derelict like, so, well, it's not derelict, that's a lie, it's perfectly fine, but it could be better. As you can see, the rain's on. I'm actually quite deep into building at the moment. I've ripped the full front off that teepee. You know, the one I said I was gonna think about rebuilding. And yeah, it looks terrible at the moment, but once I've got it cleared up around it and start fixing what I've damaged, yeah, it'll be good. Just gonna work until I'm tired and then have something to eat and go to bed, I think. I've already put like a little bit of coal on the fire just to keep it while I've been away working on this. I've been working like a real one, so you can't really see very well at the moment, but I've got log wall here, moved it really close to the fire so I get all the heat. I have the airframe ribs up for the roof, log back, still working on that. I've yeah, it's like 3:20 in the morning, so I've worked for hours, about, well, a good 3.5–4 hours on this. But yeah, the frame is looking real good now. Chuffed to bits with it. I wish you could see this. It's like 4:30 in the morning now, and I've already waterproofed the whole shelter, roof's on. It's just absolutely priceless. Just wait until the morning, and because everything's dying, because I've been, it's just very, very cool. I've burnt everything. I'm starving too. I'm gonna get like a steak on the go. I need something serious. So I've got a ribeye steak on the go. It's almost cooked. I'm just going to have that in a roll and get a couple of hours sleep. My very messy workstation. I have pretty much built a house here. It is, I love it. A-frame roof, log walls. Just need some furniture now. Well, I'm gonna get some shut-eye. I'm still quite wide awake actually, but I'm gonna get some shut-eye just in case. Good morning. Oh. Oh. Still quite a bit to do on it, like, but it's looking damn good. I just got this one side to moss, then it's finished. And the back to do. Then I can move in. And I just wanted to say, to stop my batteries from going really cold this week, I'm using hand warmers inside the stuff sack inside the socks. And thanks for all that information on the power packs and keeping my batteries warm in winter. The information was awesome. I'm a bit like, I'm still half asleep. I love that, like, that is awesome. When that's finished, it's going to look epic. So glad I tapped it too. It's going to be fully waterproof. I'm going to sleep in that tonight. Oh, that heat pad on my neck is absolutely awesome. So I got some burns from work this week, and the skin's coming off them because of my clothes. Irritating. So that you don't get yourself under the influence that this was easy, and it took 10 minutes, just because obviously I didn't film much of the making of this because it was pitch black, and I just got into the motion of building and completely forgot about filming, like, my step by step that I was going to do. But if you look at that whole thing there, just take that whole thing away, so that's just an empty space. And that's pretty much what I had to start with last night, because these walls, this wall and this wall was further back, so I had to move the whole thing forward in order to fit it into this lean-to and the side of this TP. I'm going to put like a barrier across there as a windbreak, because it seems to be pushing the fire this way a little bit. And then, so once I got all that on, I had a problem with this wall here, because what I was going to do is I was going to build this side higher and then put like an angled thing on it, but then I got the beamage up for the angled roof and realised that it wasn't such an angle that it would cause the rain to slide off. It was more likely to hold the rain and just fill up the tarp. So yeah, I went back to the A-frame idea, and all I did for that is I got one main beam here, one main beam at the back, and a cross beam going across, and then a beam going here, a beam going here, a beam going there, and a beam going there down the back. And then basically they're all tied to this point where the pegs are holding the walls up. And again this point and this point where the pegs are holding the wall up there, you see the pegs. And then they're tied across to hold the walls straight. And then the back one's just pretty much wedged in like Lego bricks. And then I tarped it, and then I pined it, and then I mossed this entire side last night. And like a little bit of here, you can see the dark line. And yeah, I use these two beams the same size on each side to measure, because sometimes when I'm building in the dark I'll build it a bit skew with. So if I haven't got like a guideline like that, sometimes you can get a little bit out of shape, if you know what I mean. And that's hope I'm not boring you. I was just working out the hours it took. 7 hours to get to that point. So yeah, plus I worked like 11.5 hours yesterday in work in a kitchen, and then came out here and did 7 on this brilliant shelter. Well worth the work. So I've done the back. All I've got is this little patch here to moss, and then that side, and I'm sweet. I'm going to stop and get some bacon on the go. Once this fire's burnt out a little bit. There's a little bit of debris on there. Outside the village, you can see where this is the very first village I ever built with Gary. That was the fire pit there. We've left that there so we can see the level of the water table. There's puddles all over here, and also this is that was the fire pit for the giant very first teepee that I built. Crap everywhere. Yeah, I've almost cremated my bacon. It's alright, we like it crispy. It's been a tiny little strip to moss there. I'm scrimping for moss now. Just gonna take it off the floor on the inside of the shelter. Yeah. And around the edges, see any bits I've dropped. There's my bacon rolls. Just waiting for the water to boil now for the porridge and the coffee. Oh, it's so good. And that's it, finished. As easy as that. Well, it wasn't easy, far from it, but I enjoyed doing it, and I've put a raised floor in because the floor's a little bit marshy until it dries out. So yeah, put 2 pallets on the floor, raised my bed up right in front of the fire. Roof is just, it's priceless, that. Like, I've got a little shelf along the back there, wall there. I can store all my water bottles raised up. Little table here, just brilliant. That's my tarp and everything away now. All tidied up. Just gonna start stacking stuff properly because I've moved into my little shelter now. Love it. It's brilliant. Raised bed, everything. Right next to the fire too. Just thinking about taking this bed out of here because no one uses it. We always put a tarp up in it. I need to start working on firewood before long. And a lunch, I think, too. And also I'm thinking about doing something about that shelter as in a flap here, just to give it more of a dry space in there. We proper tidied up my lean-to now. I stitched up one that's just mossed. I'm eating a topic. Look at that moss. Green as the day I picked it. That's the back of my teepee. Yeah, it's as long as you harvest it right by the ground, it comes back and starts spreading over your shelter. And that's about a year since I picked this moss, or even over a year. There's a little bit where it's come off there. So since I am simply just so hungry all the time, I'm having a nice big plate of bangers and mash and gravy for my dinner. It's like you're working like all night, you know. It's like through the day, if you work all day, you have breakfast, lunch and tea. If you work all night, you still got to have like a meal in there, or at least 2 meals in there, because the calories you burn off building stuff like this and logs like that, and even firewood, it's, for my body type, it's diabolical. Just eating chocolate bars in between all the time. Bangers and mash should do it. Keeps on, we're having like spitting, drizzling all the time too. I like the way this lean-to's looking now. Got it really tidied up and remossed the peak. There's my little rubbish bag there. Potatoes are boiling nicely. My water for my gravy. I'm gonna get my sausages on in a second, and I might even have a couple of them Yorkshire puddings that I brought for that roast chicken later. Why not, eh? I feel that I've worked for it. Everything's like tidied almost now. Like I need to do something about that. The rim here. You see, when the rain comes from this side, you can see the dry area. So what's happening is it's just basically going right through the door. You could stash it the back that way. That's long enough, but it'd be nice just to maybe bring a lip out or a ledge to here. Something like that. Just to take and give you a hell of a lot more dry space. I've got the sausages on now. Just turned them. Crisping them on the outside of them, and I'm going to wrap them in tin foil and cook them in the hot ashes. Just brown them off on the grill first. Shan't take long. Right, I've finished browning off, browning off. We're a little bit burnt. The outside of my sausages, so I'm wrapping it in tin foil to give them a core heat now. Might do something about this entrance too, because it looks a bit, what's the word I'm looking for? Crap. My little pallet table and chairs. Fergs UK made that. That bench there. When we camped here. Still going strong, fella. So we'll go through the entrance. water storage. It's a table made out of pallets. TP's still unfinished yet. That's a waterproof TP. Mossed. That's my shelter that I built last night and this morning. Raised floor, and I've put some cladding on there too. Just saves the ground getting marshy until it dries out. Table and chair made of pallets in a lean-to. There's another moss lean-to there. That's my Gore-Tex. Okay, so I've got my gravy, my mashed potatoes, and my sausages and Yorkshire puddings. There we go. Bangers and mash and my Yorkshire puddings. Grand. So I've been chopping some firewood. It's just some trees that are already felled. I'm also been collecting a load of nice birch bark. Huge sheets of it on it. Dry out at home. Useful in the winter at my other camps for my fire kit. Look at that for a bit of resinous wood. I just lit that with a lighter. Just put them there as a windbreak. We've got a really good haul of timber here. It's starting to get dark and it's drizzling again. Fire's proper blazing. TP'd that bad boy up so you can get a bit of higher. Get some heat in this shelter. It's looking grand. Bed. And that's just all the kit I've took down today. My birch bark and my fat wood and my pine resin. That's another log to go on the fire there. I've got a whole chicken stuffed with sage and onion stuffing and some coriander sprinkled over the top of it. Got some nice carrots and potatoes. Still got 2 Yorkshire puddings over there too. Some gravy. Got my oven on the go for that. Yeah. Should we get the heat in it now? Ah, nice. Man, I am telling you, this fire is awesome in front of this shelter. It's like I'm just sitting up there on top of my bed, like having a chill, and I've got a coffee there, and I'm cooking my chicken. Still a long way off yet, but it's getting the heat it needs. Just keep that closed. Once it's nice and browned off, I'll cover it in tin foil and turn up the heat a bit more. I'll just leave it like that, I think that'll do. That beauty. Just doing more Yorkshire puddings. And over here I've got the chicken. I'll put the gravy in there. Carrots and potatoes are in there. There we go. I'm gonna eat all this and then get my ass to bed because I'm knackered. Morning. Just got up and relit my fire. It wasn't out, I just put little twigs on it and then some more wood that I had from last night. Brilliant sleep. Nice long sleep. Well, it's like 4 in the morning now. Getting picked up at 8 off Gary. So a little update on the battery situation. The hand warmers have completely changed the game in these batteries. They're working longer, better, just by keeping them warm. I wrapped them in the socks and then a hand warmer in there. Also I've kept the bag kinner at the end of my shelter, directly in front of my fire, so the bag's kept warm the whole time. Yeah, massive difference. Even like these power packs seem to be like just doing a little bit better. And my head torch batteries are lasting way longer. So yeah, I'd also like to say that back to the shelters, yeah, in winter, bad shelters, lean-tos aren't really going to cut it because the wind changes too regularly up here. And again, the TP, I showed you the dry line in there, and takes me back to something that Mark from Scout and Free said about the lean-to shelters and wind changing and the rain at an angle, and you know, it's just, even though we're told sometimes that it's the best survival shelter, it can actually be the worst also. Loving this new one. Massive, like the dry line is literally level with the front of the shelter, which is what we wanted. Thanks to the airframe roof. Didn't get time to do anything to next door, but there's always next time. It's like 4 hours till my pickup now, so I'm gonna have some coffee and porridge for breakfast. And oh yeah, also the collective information that I'm getting from MTFU, which is a group I'm a member of and I chat with. It's yeah, the amount of help I've got from them on everything from boot care to waxing tarps to just generally looking after yourself, you know, generally stuff that I didn't know. So yeah, the information from them is epic and a massive help. Like a sponge, just absorb everything. So yeah, big thanks to all them guys. Yeah, we'll keep on plodding on. I'd also like to say, just another random one, yeah, when I was building this shelter, that wall there was the hardest piece of thing I've ever built in my life, because what happened is the logs were so heavy on the last 2 bits of the section of the wall that it pushed my other logs so that they're settled, and I didn't have them settled right when I first put them in. So when I put the last 2 logs on, it kind of just pushed and 2 logs fell sideways and I caught my toes, but my boots took it, so it wasn't that bad. And it pushed my pegs out at an angle, so I kind of stressed out and chucked the log about and pulled the pegs out and stressed out and shouted at myself a little bit, and then got back to it and just stepped away for 5 and thought about it for a minute and came back, and what I did was I put 3 pegs along the outside with angled pegs pointing inwards so that they can't be pushed out, and then the 3 pegs on this side to hold the walls level. But I kept it at both of them at a little angle so that they'd lean on the support beams so that it won't fall out with the weight of the roof. So yeah, that's what I did with that. I'm starting to pack it up. Got my Gore-Tex bivy bag in there, and just got my roll mat and my sleeping bag to fold up. Last few things in my bag. Got my cappuccino and my porridge there. I got like a 30-second glimpse of the moon like there, but by the time I ran for my camera and come back, a cloud had covered it again. Gutted. It's all good. It's meant to be like a larger moon, so it'd be nice to get a good shot of it. I'm going to sit and wait until it glimpses through again. Clouds are starting to clear now. The sun will be coming up in a minute. I'm pretty much all packed up in my rucksack. It's the last few things. My bag of birch bark. It's the moon up there still. Just got my roll mat to take out my shot, and then that's me done. Sun's coming up over here. So the sun's going to come up over there. It's epic. We're able to see the sunset and the moon at the same time. It's almost light enough for you to see now. My fire out, dumped a load of water on it. I'm gonna head out now. That's everything. Take my water bottle with us. My rucksack's all packed up. Well guys, that's me for this week. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll catch y'all next week.